Welcome, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, I should say, really, shouldn't I? Welcome to my first first proper video of 2024. Yeah, it's only taken 8 days, but you know. Um, so, it's not just my first video of 2024, it's actually my first proper video on Raid Shadow Legends. This is a game that I've been playing for about 2 years ish, give or take. And I've been really enjoying it, actually. Really enjoying it. It's a good game. It started off as just something to do to pass some time, but actually I've really got into it, and it makes me want to cover some content on it this year. Especially as it is a game that I spend a lot of time playing through the day, and there's also a free to play challenge coming up with Hell Hades that I'd love to take part in. I tried to do it last year and didn't, so this year I kind of want to go ahead and do that. Anyway, in this video, first of all, what I want to do, introduce myself. Hi, I'm Pete. For those of you that might be new and watching the raid content, and obviously haven't come to the channel from previous content, I had a 4-year gap of doing anything on YouTube, but I'm back. Yeah. Anyway, that aside, there's a video about where I've been for 4 years further back on the channel, if it at all interests you as to why I've been AWOL for a few years. Anyway, this video is basically a where am I? For the start of the year. You know, what I find really interesting is kind of how I've progressed in Raid over this last year. This year's been massive. I think the majority of this year has the reason this year's been so massive is, you know, I pulled a Helicath. Finally pulled a Helicath. I pulled a Theodore. I got Mithrala. I got Yakal. What else? More recently, I got Tormin. I did the Pythion fusion. We've had Artak. We've had Sun Wukong come in as, you know, daily logins, and they've been huge. I did the Newt fusion. You know, Newt was huge for me. I went from like stage 15 to stage 25 on Fire Knight. Helicath just opened up a world of things for me. Mashold, you know, because I got these champions, I was able to progress massively this year. A lot of that content being Clan Boss, being Hydra, being progressing into Hard Doom Tower, which then allowed me to pick up things like Urost. You know, we've got some blessings for the likes of Rector and Seer. I didn't have a Seer at all until maybe 3 months ago, and then I ended up pulling 4 of them in the space of a month. Accington, you know, huge champion, getting Royal Guards, multiple copies of them to run in for Hydra, you know, pushing Ultra Nightmare, Clan Boss, so that I could start getting books and actually book out. You know, I've got multiple champs now, legendary champions that are, you know, booked out where they need. They're either fully booked or they're almost fully booked because I've been able to, you know, progress to Ultra Nightmare, Hydra, Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, and it's worked, you know. So yeah. Anyway, this is about where am I in the time that I've been playing and kind of what do I want to do for 2024. So that's where we're going to start off. I suppose where do we start? We'll start off with the easy stuff. Faction Wars, I don't need to do anything. I've actually completed Lydia a couple of months ago, so I'm really happy with that. That was seriously hard. I think what was holding me back for a long time was Demon Spawn held me back right until the end. It was literally the last one I did, and Oghren. I didn't have any healers for Demon Spawn, but then I pulled Helicath, and I went from about here all the way up here. In about 2 rotations of Demon Spawn opening as a crypt. And then Oghren, I struggled with Oghren because all I had was healers and no damaged healers, and I wasn't getting anywhere. But I finally got that done this year, so I'm really happy with that. Clan Boss, the next thing, I am hitting Ultra Nightmare, but I'm just hitting Ultra Nightmare. It will do. If I actually missed getting a double Void Affinity today, so I got Void and then 1 Magic. If I hit both Void, which I do most days, I do hit Void most days, then I'm about 78 mil. So, you know, it's a comfortable 2 key, and then obviously I come in and do an easy 1 key on Nightmare. I have the champs to do a 1 key team here, I just don't have the gear yet. The speeds I need for the 1 key teams are a bit more difficult to get, but I'll get there. Hydra is something I definitely want to work this year. Majorly work out this year. Where are we on here? So, you know, from only just about doing Hydra at the start of 2023 last year, I kind of only just started doing it. By the middle of the year, I got my Mithrala up to pushing, brutal and hard 1 keys this year. Again, it really is down to the champs, and using Hell Hades. The Hell Hades site has made Hydra a very easy thing to be able to do, to be honest. So yeah, I kind of want to get to the point where I'm hitting Hydra, Brutal, and Nightmare. The problem with these Nightmare teams, I look at some of these teams and I go, okay, other than Michinaki here, I could probably build some of these teams because I have supplements. Like here, I have Lady Kimmy that I can supplement in. I look at teams there are teams I can do on Nightmare. The problem is the speeds. I can obtain all the other stats that I need, but I cannot get to the speeds of like 270, 280, 290. So right now it's brutal, it's hard, and normal, and then we'll progress from there. So that's a big thing that I want to do this year. Is I do want to progress Hydra. Doom Tower. Well, this year, the last couple of months, I managed to get every rotation of hard Doom Tower that I can do now. And easily do as well. I do have a sticking point. I think it's one of these 2 floors here, and then somewhere down here there's like a double Mortu Macabre wave and a double Siffy wave that I really struggle on. Every rotation that comes out, I struggle because I forget actually what my team is from the month before, and it takes me a few days to actually work out how to get back through it again. But other than that, all the bosses I can do. I can farm all the bosses. I have teams for all of the bosses now on hard that can auto farm it, as well as 2 different wave teams. I use my Seer team to about 3/4 of the way up hard. Then because I don't have a Kymar or anything, I can't actually use my Seer team for the last lot, so I have to swap to this team. When I get a Kymar or something like that, I'll be able to then rock my Seer team all the way through, but it's just not something I can do yet. So progression wise for Doom Tower, yeah, that's not really needed. There are a few secret rooms. I'm very low on the High Elves front, as I am several factions actually, and then I need to do all these rare rooms, which is just not something I've been able to do at all this year. So that's something I really kind of want to work on. Other than that, Doom Tower is not really something that I have to push anywhere other than the secret rooms, which, to be honest, I do enough of the secret rooms that I'm going to get all the champions I need from there. I suppose I didn't show you normal. We do normal really easily as well. I can't remember where you actually see the champs that you can get. I think you have to complete a room, and then it shows you the champs that you can get from completing Doom Tower. But anyway, we're quite a way through on the champs for Doom Tower, so it's just one of those things to tick off. I log in every day, I do my Doom Tower, I use my silver keys, I move on. I actually really enjoy Doom Tower. I was hoping Curse City would be a bit more like it. That's actually something for a whole nother video. Curse City, I'm enjoying Curse City overall. We'll just cover it overall because obviously it's content, it's new content. Hard, I've actually been able to do quite a fair chunk on hard this rotation. I've hit a stone wall here with Scarab just because of what champions I have available to me. Obviously my roster isn't huge playing at the 2-year mark. And then I get to some of these and I go, okay, I actually have the champions for some of these, but they're not geared yet. Other ones I don't have the champions for. Like, I can do the spider here, but I can't do Scarab. Same when we come over here. I can do the dragon here, but I'm struggling with the spider. That's why I'm trying to get my Bivold that I pulled. CVC just gone actually, and probably Jetney. So there are some combinations of things I can do. There's some champions that I can level up. I've got a Woad painted there that I need to level up. My Soul Bonds needs to get leveled up. My Fennex needs to get leveled up. So there's champions I can probably run for some of this content. I just need to actually level them up because a lot of them have been sat in the vault for a long time. So again, this year, as champion training goes on and CVCs come on, I'll book champions, I'll build champions, and then hopefully we'll get through some more Soul Cross here. Normal, I've actually pretty much cleared everything on normal. Oh, there's one here that I need to clear. That'll be an easy clear. I've got 2 here. This is one I feel like I can do, but I've kind of lost. I've gone crazy trying to actually do it. I know I can do it, but it's the timings of things with buffs and ripping buffs and using seer, and I think this is more just a practice, and I need the RNG to be perfect to get through this, but I will get through this in the next, 2 days before reset. This one I won't be able to do just because I'm so limited on champions that have awakenings. I have to bring one of these two in, but they're not geared. I could bring him in, but again, he's not built yet. So I get to this point where I'll be able to do them maybe the next time this rotation comes around, but not this time. I also have Amius. Amius sucks. That's a completely different video. Amius here sucks. I've got many ways of doing it here, but I can't do it. The mechanics are a pain in the backside. And that is something I'm going to do a video on, because I don't think enough people are actually talking about the main issue with this boss. It's cool, the Cursed City is cool, but there is actually a mega flaw with this boss that people are not talking about. And I think the main reason that most of them obviously don't talk about that is because they have certain rules that they have to follow, being in content creator programs and things like that. There's probably certain things that they cannot say and do, but I can, and I will. So we'll talk about that in a separate video. Arena, it would be nice to finish plat once this year. That would be a cool goal. I've come very close. I've been in plat around reset, like in the last few positions, and then just not been knocked out in the mornings. So that would be an aim. I'd love to get at least one plat reset this year. I also need to push on in 3v3, which is horrendously horrible to try and do. The only reason I'm worried about it is because I want to try and get Romantu. Everything else on here I look at and I go, well, this is easy. A lot of it I've already done. Easy. This is easy. In fact, I already do this. The same. This is easy. This is easy. So there's no other stopping points in here for me, except for the stupid tag team stuff that I have to do. And I've been trying for months. I've actually been on this step for about 6 months, trying to get up. And I get like right on the line every single reset, and then I end up waking up in the morning and being back halfway down here. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, to be honest. I think I probably just need better teams. But yeah, we'll see. What else? I suppose the last one to talk about is dungeons, really. Lots of dungeons. The potion keeps I don't think really count as content. I actually think this is a bit pointless now. It's been out years. There's a lot of things like this. Again, I'm going to do another video in the coming days talking about kind of where I see the game. And this is coming from someone who's only been playing for a couple of years now, not people that have been playing day one. So I can imagine how annoying some of these things are for day one players. I've watched Hell Hades. I watched plenty of Hell Hades. I watched plenty of Ash. I watched plenty of Nubraid. And who else do we watch? Scratch. And they all bang on about the same thing time and time again, and they must be getting really bored of repeating themselves. Minotaur, super raids. Minotaur, double the rewards. The same with the potion keeps. I understand they have to have these lower levels for people that are coming into the game, but something has to be done with these later rewards because there's too much to do in game. It's such a time sink that it becomes a full-time job if you want to do all of it. But again, that's a video for another game. So potion keeps we'll just step aside on them. It's not really content. Iron Twins, I can do Iron Twins. Quite recently, actually, I've started being able to do all affinities stage 15. That is pretty much down to Pythion, Demitha, Geomancer, and Godseeker, a rebuild on Godseeker, that I'm now able to do all affinities, but I don't. I do Sundays on Void Affinity, and that's it, like most people, just because the rewards are not worth the energy and the time sink. For me personally, on Void is about a 6-7 minute run. By the time I've done 12 keys on it, that's a long time to run through it. It's only like a 99% team as well. I get that 3% bad run and I fail. So I can do it, but I don't like doing it, and the rewards are not worth it. Why I want the rewards, because awakenings are so important, what I get out of them for the rest of the week compared to a Sunday is not worth my energy. My energy is better spent right now in Minotaur, upgrading champions that I need to do Cursed City. So like the gameplay loop that they want us to actually do is something that I feel needs a big rework. But again, that's a video for another day. Where else do we get then? Minotaur, not really content. I think pretty much from the first few weeks or months, you're able to push Minotaur quite high when you've got a couple of 6 stars. So that's just a necessity more than actually wanting to do it. Ice Golem, I actually want to spend some time in Ice Golem. Where is it? I want Curse, Provoke, and Reflex set. I can now do stage 10 hard. I've not got a 100% team for it, so I do need to tweak some builds. But that's going to be actually easier to do now because of something I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, so I'll be doing a lot of hard dungeon farming this year. Maybe not trying to go for many fusions and actually focusing on gear, because that's what's holding me back a lot of things now, is gear more than champions. Spider, we can do hard spider stage 10 relatively quickly as well, and we've got a stage 20 farm 3 turns for silver farming, because we all need silver. Same with dragon, I can do stage 10 hard. This is probably the easiest of dungeons to do on hard. If you can do stage 20 on hard, if you've got a Teodor or Calvalax or anything like that, dragon just becomes a cakewalk. Same as spider 20 with something like Newt or Cold Heart. Fire Knight, this has been the one that's been getting me all year long. Until not that long ago, I was still farming Fire Knight down here. I could not progress it at all. And then I got the new. Then I pulled Cold Heart, that was huge. Then I pulled Seer, that was huge. And then I got the Newt Fusion, and the Newt Fusion moved me from here with very long times of about 6 or 7 minutes to up here, and that's phenomenal. I've spent the last 6, 7, 8 weeks farming stage 25. And trying to get good curing set for things like Vogoth and Rector-Drath, trying to get good shield set, crit damage set, regen, stun, savage, all the usual. If you're going to put later game, if you're going to put energy in any dungeon, it is going to be Fire Knight. I tried to step into hard. I do have the Creodons and Newts to actually hit this. Unfortunately, I'm missing the what is it? Is it Lonathril? No, not Lonathril. Cardial is one of them. Valkyrie is one of them. There's like a few big champions when it comes to hard Fire Knight that you kind of got to have. I don't have any of them. So I tried to get a stage 1 team going just for the chance of getting the mythical drops on hard. But I did about 10 runs and it completed once, so kind of not there yet. But that is a big aim this year, is to do Fire Knight. Now these two, this is where obviously the last couple of days they brought out stage 25. They brought out Chaos Dust, which is huge. Hats off to them actually. This Ascension system was obviously brought in to give endgame players something to do and help them farm and improve builds even more, and kind of mid-max their builds even more. It opens up at quite a low level, but it quite clearly has not been taken in, like the dungeon design has not been taken into account for low level players. So up until literally 3 days ago, I was farming stage 12 here. I was as high as I could get. I'd got 13 and 14 done, but as you can see, very slow times. And it wasn't consistent. I had to do both of these. I had to run them about 10 or 15 times before I got that one clear. So I was farming stage 12 in 2 or 3 minutes a piece, something like that. So it was a lengthy run. Then I rebuilt my Godseeker, and I can do stage 18 and 19. I've tried 20, but because Newt's off Affinity, I'm struggling. So I've actually dropped to stage 18 here. Unfortunately, it's still not 100%, and the reason it's not 100% at the moment is because I don't have the blessing that I need on my Godseeker. I need a 5-star Godseeker for that 100%. This 75%, when it procs, I can run stage 19, 18 constantly. When it doesn't proc, I die. And I have pushed my stats as high as I can. I can't have regen and immortal and have better stats than this. I just don't have the gear. I can push the speed, but then I lose the speed tune for the stage 20, 21 farm that I want to try and get going with the HP and defense stats. So this is something I've also done masteries the last couple of days, to try and help. So this is a work in progress. The fact I've gone from stage 12 to being able to farm stage 18 now means that I can actually get all the pots, which is huge because I've got a few champs that I need these golden pots on. So this is huge. I can put a lot of energy into here the next time a Sand Devil attack comes up or something like that, and then that will probably progress my count again. The reason I've taken such big steps in Hydra this year is because of Sand Devil. And okay, I was farming low levels and it meant a lot of energy, but getting those speed boots with speed rolls and the crit rate and crit damage gloves with extra crit rate, crit damage has really helped make some of the builds that I've been able to progress Hydra and Fire Knight with as well. And the same goes for Phantom Shogun. I think Phantom, I can't even remember what one I'm actually farming on the Shogun, if I actually have a team for it. I think I just got lucky as I was running. No, I've got Shogun 16. So I am running Shogun at 16 here. Ideally, I want to try to get to a 17, 18, 19, 20 stage, just so that I've got all potions dropping again. The annoying thing is I actually have teams. Looking on the optimizers, seeing the other video on YouTube, I do have teams that can run stage 25 on both of them in under like 3 minutes. It's getting to those stages in the first place. Like Sand Devil, really easy. All I need here is Newt. I've got Newt, and he's got the gear that he needs to be able to do it. Godseeker's got the gear that she needs to do it. If I can get a 5-star Miracle Heal. Phantom Shogun, I've got a few different options to be able to do up here. I just need to build and book champions and actually level them up. I'm actually saving right now. There we go, at 63. I'm actually saving right now so that when the 4-star comes up, where is it? Mystic Market? No, yeah. So when the 4-star comes up, I'll have, for Godseeker, I'll have enough, and then obviously I've got to save these up to try and get. I think it's 50 I need to get the 5-star for an epic, so that I can get that 5-star Miracle Heal on her, and then I'll easily be able to farm Sand Devil 25 or get up to Sand Devil 25. The next thing, you probably just saw it actually, one of my biggest things that I want this year, and I'll try and wrap it up because I've been waffling a while. I want a Duchess, and I want a Trunda, and I want a Regrash, please. I'm so fed up of looking at these souls and not actually having the champion to put them on. Like Duchess would be huge for me, Trunda would be huge, especially for Hydra for me, and Regash would be huge for 3v3, because that's I say that's a big pushing area for me, just because I want to try and get my Romantu. So these are kind of my teams that I run. This is my normal arena PvP team. This one wins pretty much everywhere I put it. That's because Pythian's in bolster gear. I've got good gear on Stultus, and yeah, this team just works. I don't struggle anywhere with this team, even with the low power levels. I can take on teams that are like 600-700k, not a problem. This team is a bit hit and miss. When it works fine. It's the Arbiter that I have the problem with, and that's because why I think she's fast at 312. Apparently nowadays it's more like 400 odd to win a speed race. So if I win the speed race, I'll win with this team. If I don't win the speed race, then I don't win with this team. And that's because obviously I go from Arbiter into Lydia, into Heli, and then Sun Wukong comes in, smacks everybody with the Soul Reap, wipes them out. If it doesn't wipe them out, Lydia blocks the revive, and it's a team that works, but it only works some of the time. And then the third team I struggle with. I've tried a lot of different options, as you can see here, trying to get a third consistent team. And I just struggle to get a third team. So if this one fails, this one pretty much always wins, because I make sure it goes in against a team on the other side that it should win against. And then I struggle with the other two, so I end up losing more than I win through the week, which is that this week I'm actually trying this strategy. I've done my 5, and that's it. I'm leaving it today. I have 2 here that are guaranteed wins tomorrow. Maybe this one I win against as well. I look at, like, okay, this is a level 89, they got 755 power. Normally I'd look at it and go, well, you're an 89, about the same power as me. I look at this and go, well, actually, I know exactly what you're doing here. I'm not going to win the speed race against you the way you're going into here. Here you're going into the block damage. You're going to have Stone Skin. You're going to have Stone Skin. I'm not going to beat this team with any three of my teams. And the same with this team. Between the Valkyrie, the Seal, and the Wither, we're just not going to win. I don't have the champions to smack through them all and beat this team. So I'll just have to keep refreshing and try, like I am at the moment, week after week, trying to beat them. But yeah, that's pretty much where I am going into 2024, guys. I'd like to finish my Great Hall off this year as well. Maybe actually start trying to do some more live arena, more so for Fire Knight and Hydra. I suppose this would help me if I beefed up my clan boss ones. This would beef me up to getting a 1 key, but I actually have the champions that can do like 100 mil. It's just getting the team built in the first place, I guess. So yeah, look, that's kind of where I am going into 2024. I think it'd be pretty cool to be able to watch this back in at the end of the year and see kind of where I've progressed, if I've been able to get through what I wanted to get through, if I've got the champions I wanted to get, if I've finished off some of these things that I wanted to do, and yeah, it's going to be a long year. I have a feeling there's a lot of content coming. Curse City, I don't think is the end of what we've got to come. There's already rumours of other big content coming and big changes coming actually to the Curse City. So it's going to be an interesting year, I think, for playing the game. I've enjoyed the last 2 years of playing, obviously. So I'll be hoping to do a lot of videos on raids this year. I also plan on doing a lot of live streaming because a lot of these challenges that I need to do are time consuming. Trying to manual some of these and push up through them, trying to get through the Curse City, and having to manual through these stages and repeat the stage again and again and again to try and actually get a successful clear and things like that. There's gonna be a lot of time spent in it, so I'd kind of like to do that for you guys either on videos or on live streams. So I will be doing a lot of streams. So if you're new to the channel, you're watching this and you've stayed this long, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and kind of stick around for the content that's coming this year. And let me know in the comment section down below, like, how long have you been playing? Are you day one players? Are you more newer players like myself? Maybe you're even new and you've only been playing a couple of months. How do you find the game? How do you enjoy it? What would you change? The other thing I'll be keeping an eye out for this year is how Hades and Fateless guys are doing with their game. Because I find myself agreeing with a lot of things he says when it comes to the good and the bad about Raid. So it does make you think what they're going to be able to do with their own game. So we'll definitely be looking at that through the year as they cover bits. If we get something that we can play, I'll be covering that as well. I have tried Dragonair and some of the other games, not as into them as I am into Raid. I think that's because like all the other guys that are really enjoying those games. I try not to waffle on too much, but the thing with those games is the people that are really enjoying it that have come from Raid, it's because they've got nothing to do in Raid. They're going off and they're playing these new games because they're enjoying it because it's new. Where for me, there's still so much content to do in Raid. I don't need to play another game because I'm enjoying Raid so much, and there's still so much for me to do that every spare minute I get, I'm spent trying to do some bits. So for me, that's holding my interest. Like I say, I have got the other games installed. I don't know, just not enjoying them as much as I think a lot of it may be to do with the artwork and things like that and how the game looks aesthetically. It's something I enjoy about Raid over, say, Dragonair and things, but there are a lot of other things that those games do really, really well compared to Raid. But anyway, look, I've waffled on, sorry, for like 30 odd minutes, but no one's going to watch this anyway until the end, so it really doesn't matter. But if you have made it this far, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll see you on stream or another video soon. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all soon.